Welcome to Smart Procurement, where we make procurement simple, smart, and practical. No fluff, no confusion, just real insights you can use. Let's begin.
This is a quickly path for each conduct it's taken. Have you ever negotiated what felt like a great price, shook hands, high-fived the team, only to realize 6 months later that the supplier is now the source of constant downtime, quality complaints rolling in, endless firefighting, and internal chaos that nobody budgeted for? If that's ever happened to you, congratulations. You didn't actually save money, you just delayed the cost. Today, I want to show you something different. How procurement can stop chasing those short-term headline savings and start mastering something far more powerful. Total cost of ownership, TCO. And let me be clear, this isn't just a formula you plug numbers into. It's a transformation journey. One that changes how you buy, how you partner, and ultimately, how much real value you capture. Traditional procurement asks one simple question: how cheap can I buy this? That question has driven decisions for decades. But world-class procurement, the kind that actually moves the needle on profit, asks something completely different. What will this really cost us? Over its entire life cycle, that one shift in perspective is the difference between quietly bleeding millions or quietly saving millions. So today, we're going to walk through exactly how that transformation happens. We'll break it down into 6 clear, practical phases, step by step. Let's get started. The very first transformation is not about changing your process. It's not about adopting a new tool. It's not even about switching suppliers. It's a mental shift. Price is visible. It's right there on the quote, bright and obvious. But total cost of ownership, TCO, is hidden. When you buy anything, equipment, parts, services, you are never just paying the purchase price. You are also paying for maintenance that never seems to stop, unexpected downtime that kills your schedule, quality failures that ripple through the entire operation, the risk that something will go wrong at the worst possible moment, and eventually, even the cost of early disposal or replacement. Here's the truth. Most organizations learn the hard way. The cheapest supplier very often becomes the most expensive partner. Imagine this. A new supplier comes in and beats everyone else by 10%. The spreadsheet looks fantastic. The team celebrates. It feels like a big win. But then, their equipment starts failing more often. Small stoppages turn into long ones. Operations lose hours, sometimes entire shifts. Engineering gets dragged in again and again. Procurement ends up back at square one. Firefighting, expediting, explaining, renegotiating. All of that extra time, frustration, and lost production adds up very quickly. That 10% you thought you saved? It's long gone, many times over. That isn't savings. That's silent cost. Here's a hard truth most companies don't want to hear. Most of your total cost of ownership is already locked in long before procurement even picks up the phone to talk to suppliers. It happens right at the requirement stage. And one of the biggest hidden cost drivers hiding in plain sight is overspecification. Overspecification means you end up paying for unnecessarily higher material costs, far more complex maintenance, and dramatically fewer supplier options to choose from. Let me give you a real-world example. A company insists on full aerospace-grade specifications for a component that's going into a standard industrial application. What actually happened? Prices shot way up, lead times stretched out for months, and in the end, zero added value for the end user. Here's where true TCO thinking starts. It starts with one simple, uncomfortable question. Do we really need this, or is it just habit? Because every time we carry forward yesterday's specifications without questioning them, we're quietly signing up for higher costs tomorrow. That's the redesign mindset shift Phase 2 is all about. Here's a blunt reality check for every procurement team. If you select suppliers based only on price, you are outsourcing risk blindly. True TCO-focused procurement looks far beyond the lowest bid. It evaluates suppliers on what actually drives long-term value: reliability. Can they deliver when it counts? Quality consistency. Does the part perform the same every time? Innovation capability. Can they help you improve over time? Risk exposure. How much hidden trouble are they bringing? Ease of doing business. Do they make your life easier or harder? Let me paint a picture with a real story we see again and again. Supplier A looks great on paper. Lowest price. Wins the bid easily. Supplier B costs more upfront. But here's what actually happens. Supplier B delivers on time, every time. They reduce downtime in your operations. They require far less management and firefighting from your team. On the spreadsheet, Supplier B looks more expensive. But inside your business, where real money is made or lost, Supplier B saves money where it actually matters. The cheapest bid often hides the highest total cost. Because the real price isn't just what you pay today, it's what your operations pay every day for the next few years. Phase 3 is about choosing partners, not just vendors. Look beyond the bid. Look at the full picture. That's how you turn procurement into a strategic advantage. Here's the golden rule of true TCO transformation. If TCO is not in the contract, it will never happen in reality. Traditional contracts are built to reward the wrong things: on-time delivery, high volume, and lowest price. They get you boxes on the dock, but not results in your operations. Now imagine TCO-focused contracts, the ones that actually work for you. They reward what really matters: uptime, performance, reliability, and real outcomes. Here's a powerful example that changes everything. Instead of paying your suppliers simply for equipment delivered, you pay them for equipment uptime. Suddenly, the supplier's incentives flip. Now they're motivated to prevent failure, to proactively maintain, to make sure the machine keeps running, not just to ship another box and disappear. That simple shift aligns their success with yours. The supplier starts working for you, not just with you. Failures become their problem too, because downtime now costs them money. That's how contracts stop being paperwork and start becoming your most powerful tool for driving down total cost, non-confident, and Phase 4. Contract for outcomes. Make the agreement match the reality you want. Operational integration. This is where the theory meets the factory floor. Because let's be honest, procurement alone cannot deliver TCO. Why? Because procurement cuts the deal, but they don't live with it. Most total cost of ownership costs actually happen downstream. They happen in operations, in maintenance, in engineering, and in logistics. These are the hidden icebergs that can sink a low-price contract. This is why we say TCO is a team sport. World-class procurement doesn't work in a silo. They are out there, on the ground, working with operations to proactively reduce downtime, finance to track the actual cost across the entire life cycle, and engineering to design for cost before a single part is ever ordered. Here is the bottom line. When procurement stops being a gatekeeper and starts being a true business partner, that's the exact moment TCO becomes achievable. Measure and continuously optimize TCO. There is an old management truth that rings louder here than anywhere else. What you don't measure, you simply cannot improve. Think about it. If procurement is only being tracked on one thing, negotiated savings, then guess what? That is the only thing they are ever going to chase. But a low purchase price is a hollow victory if it drives up costs everywhere else. To win at TCO, we have to change the scoreboard. TCO-driven KPIs look deeper. We're talking about actual life cycle cost versus the original forecast, the tangible value of downtime avoided, the real impact of quality failure costs, and the mitigation of supplier risk incidents. When you shift the metrics, you shift the mindset. This is the exact point where procurement stops being tactical and finally starts becoming strategic. So, let's summarize the journey we've taken. Moving from simple price tag shopping to total cost of ownership isn't just a process change. It's a mindset shift. To truly master TCO, we must, first, stop chasing cheap prices that mask hidden disasters. Second, deeply understand the total life cycle cost of everything we buy. Third, design smarter requirements from the very beginning. Fourth, select value-driven suppliers who act as partners, not just vendors. Fifth, contract for outcomes, aligning incentives with reality. Finally, measure what actually matters to the bottom line. Here is the ultimate takeaway. Procurement doesn't save money by simply negotiating harder. It saves money by thinking smarter across the entire life cycle. That is the power of TCO. If you want procurement to move from a cost center to a true value engine, TCO is no longer optional. It's the baseline for excellence. If this helped you level up, hit that like button. Share this with your procurement team and subscribe for more real-world strategies that actually move the needle. And I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Where is your biggest hidden cost today? Let's get to work.